Good evening, welcome to my live stream. We're doing the Ogroid Myrmidon, this dude. You've got the live stream here to ask me any questions you want to ask me. I've got the close-up cam there. They'll both go on YouTube as separate videos, so you can see both angles if you want. What we're going to be doing today is I plan on putting some patterning on this guy's mane. And on his back, and then we're going to shade him up and whatever else appears. And if you guys have got any questions about this project or about anything that might relate to this project or your own projects that can demonstrate on this, then we'll do that as well. So yeah, we'll just wait to see who pops up. Good, plenty of people. I like it. How are we all tonight? For those that don't know, or it's blatantly obvious that you know that, yes, I am sideways. Why? Because it's better for YouTube when I upload it to YouTube. And it's better that you can see the palette, and it doesn't matter that I'm behind the comments. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you won't be able to see the comments on Instagram scrolling along. And maybe in the future I'll move the live part of this to YouTube. That might be a better idea, and do it straight from YouTube. But I'm not sure if the audience will quite be there just yet. I know there's a lot of users on Instagram that, and they all get a notification essentially that I'm going to be online. So we'll see about all that. And it seems, excuse me, it seems that a lot of you guys are enjoying this format of videos. And I've got to admit as well, I enjoy it. It's partly why I started doing it. I enjoy doing it this way. Because I like talking to you guys. I like getting the interaction. And I like being able to, well, just that, interact essentially. So, yeah, there we go. Couple of things. One, leave a comment on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. When I say leave a comment on this video, I mean my YouTube video, not this Instagram video. And I'm gonna choose somebody at random to win this great unclean one that I'm trying to get rid of. So yeah, in the next couple of weeks I'll choose somebody, and that can go out there to you. And if you want a pic of it, there's a pic in my Instagram gallery. And if you want a link to my YouTube channel, there's one on my Instagram gallery. So yeah, so everything's all there essentially. Right, so there's a few of you in now. I think I'm happy to crack on and see how we go, eh? Unless there's any questions from anyone before we dive into any of this. Any questions? No? Yes? No? I'll give you all a minute just to sort your bits and bobs out. Check it out. Tissue for painting on. Guess what? Never use it. Other people use it. Yeah, they do have some amazing models, don't they, Mr. Terrain Smithy? Yeah, the Ogroid Myrmidon in particular. And there's some models released this weekend. The Ogre General dude, he's an amazing model. And then there's a different kind of Ogroid thing, like a troll, Cyclops thing. That's really good. And then there's that weird pussycat thing with a long neck. That's really nice. Yeah, there is quite a few brilliant things out and about at the moment. I appear to be getting pretty giddy for Adeptus Titanicus. The new box for that is looking pretty tempting. But we'll see how it goes. I'm also building a new board. I say a new board. It's the old board. I've just kind of scrapped it and started again, essentially. Using the modular scenery pieces that I've already got painted. So I did have a 2x4 over 2 layers, essentially making a multi-dimensional 4x4. But I think I'm just going to scrap it and go for 3x4s, two 3x4s, so I can either have a 6x4 or a 3x4 for things like Necromunda, blah blah blah. So yeah. Council of 13 says very excited to see what you do with this mini. Working on converting one up myself. Yeah, cool, do it, man. Terrain Smithy says you got the Arcanaut frigate for Christmas and it's a stunning model. Yes, a lot of those flying dwarf things are pretty damn good. Pretty damn good indeed. So, who's joining in with this, by the way? Is anybody going along with it as we do these live streams? Literally, like, live now. I know Sparky Rob, he's one of the followers on Instagram, and one of my students, he's following along. Which is really nice, because it means, like, I'm really going to encourage you right now to get this model, or paint a model in these colours, or in fact any colours, in fact, right? Get up to date on the videos I've done so far, learn what I've passed on in those videos, yeah, and then join me live doing this, because as I'm painting and dancing my way through this project merrily on my way, well, I can make things look easy, right? Oh, you just do it like that, blah, blah, blah. Right? But when you're doing it, well, you might not be doing what I'm doing precisely, yeah? And then you'll have questions, you'll come up with problems, you'll come up with mistakes you make, and be like, oh, how do I prevent that? How do I fix that? How do I make sure I get the best out of these things? Live here and now. Live here and now. Every Sunday, as 8:30 as I can make it. Yeah, I'm going to aim to do these every Sunday. Here for you. These videos are just for you. I might do one or two of the videos for my Patreon guys, because they deserve a little treat. But if I'm honest, if I'm very honest, I absolutely would prefer to do it all public. And if people want to support me through Patreon and still have everything public, I think I'd still rather do it that way. I'd rather make sure everything's free. But, you know, there's this thing about Patreon people, you know, you've got to give them things extra. So I might give them separate things extra and not interrupt this project. Or I might do this project to the fast, fun, furious kind of level I'm going to do it. And then maybe for the Patreon guys, this is how I would tighten up what would be not a loose paint job, because my aim isn't to do a loose paint job. What I mean is low standard, scruffy, blah blah blah. What I aim to do is do a paint job fast and inspiring. Yeah, inspiring for me and inspiring for you. Hello Sparky Rob, you alright? Yeah, it's got to be a good standard, but I'm not trying to like make anybody go, whoa, that's amazing. But I am trying to just show you how to be a lot freer in how you paint, because again, there's no plan with this model. Yeah, there's no plan. There's just kind of a general idea. I may or may not stick to that idea. What inspires me to do things or not do things may change mid-lesson. Yeah, and that's one thing that it's not really shown a lot in this hobby, you know. Some people have described me as a Bob Ross of painting when I teach them in these ways, and it's just like, well, yeah, you'd be a lot freer, you know. So it was only like halfway through last week that I decided that Dryad Bark was going to go on his back and he's going to have stripes. Well, we're going to put those like tiger stripe type things on, more like the Garfield. He's got them funny little stripes on the side of his head. It's kind of going to be more like that. But that might not work. We'll see. We'll see. You know? So I've got a rough idea and we're just going to ebb and flow with it. And just generally have fun with no pressure. So why would that be important? We're having fun with no pressure because too many people have a solid vision in mind. Yeah? And they don't really know how to get there. So when things start to go wrong, they start crying and going, me, I've messed it up, I'm giving up on the project. Whereas what this process is about is things might perceive to get a little bit worse, perceive to get a little bit better. You might perceive yourself to be messing things up, or perceive yourself to be getting a lot better at things, and blah blah blah, and you start to judge yourself in those instances. And the instances I want to I mean here are the instances where you get all demoralised because it's not going your way. Well, boo-hoo. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go your way because you've not finished it. It's only all gone your way when you've finished it. Well, what if on that journey where it's not going your way, you actually discover something new? You actually discover a little exciting idea, or you adjust, yeah, and you learn something new about the way to hold the brush or the way to manage the paint. Yeah, there's so much to learn from, like, go with your mistakes a little bit. Yeah. Good person in this regard to learn from in the community, I think, would be Richard Gray. So when you look at some of his freehand, so when I look at some of his freehand, kind of like deconstruct it like a Haynes manual, what I see is, I see a lot of random things he has allowed to happen, and some of those random things he's kept, some of those random things he's eliminated, some of the things that he'll keep might turn into cracks in the skull and things like that, or like little anomalous things, weathering and things like that, you know, like in the teeth of his skull and his freehands. And go and have a look at his work, you'll see what I mean. A lot of those things won't be planned by him, though he will go in knowing he's gonna make some mistakes that will turn into those things. So he's encouraged by his anomalies, and he's encouraged by some random things that might happen, you know. Whereas on the flip side, you'll get some painters that try and deliberately paint a crack, and you just see it's just that little bit looks deliberate, it looks contrived. So if you understand how to let go a little bit, yeah, then some little beautiful things will appear. And if some beautiful thing appears that you don't like, well, then you learn how to get rid of it, or you learn how to turn it into something else. Yeah, stop being so strict, essentially. Yeah, so having said all that, we're going to crack on. Keep your questions coming. In fact, let's just see if anyone said anything before we do. Rob Watson, good evening. Chris Danish, hello. Sparky Rob, up to date, brilliant. Everyone's smiling, everyone's happy. 13 of you all in. Brilliant. Nice one, guys. Let's oh, my camera's off. Okay, so I'm gonna go into camera mode. Let's make sure this is facing the right way. And then zoom it in. Yeah, I've actually bought a clean palette for a change as well. Right. Brilliant. Off we go. Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Paint My Myrmidon. Should we zoom this in a little bit more? I think we should. There we go. So, here we go. Nice clean palette. Grizzly Myrmidon dude. So, what I've got is like an 1/2 inch-ish brush, is it? 3/4 inch, something like that. I've moistened it a little bit. I plan on base coating dryad bark onto his mane, yeah, and onto some of his hairy bits. I was going to do all of the base coats last week, but decided that'd be a good idea to show you how I approach this, because I'm actually now using a big brush, yeah, and I'm not going to be worried that of any potential mistakes. I'm not going to be worried that what if I'm not neat, or I got paint on his wazoo, whatever that is. You see I'm stabbing the paint in as well in some areas. Yeah. Now, again, like I said earlier on in the live stream, for you guys that really like to watch these close-up videos, by the way, on this camera here, I do a live stream as well, which I post on my YouTube channel, yeah, where I actually explain a little bit more and answer a lot more questions and talk a little bit more about painting. So if you are just watching this video, go and have a look at that as well, because you never know what wisdoms you might find. But it's really strange having two conversations at the same time as well. You guys up here and those guys over there. But I actually really like it that way. And if you do watch these videos, join my Instagram page, because I'll generally do these on Sunday nights at about 8:30 British time. And if you join the live stream, well, you get a chance to ask me questions while I'm actually doing these things. And I think that's a very, very, very useful thing. I actually really enjoy teaching, you know, and that's why I do this. I enjoy the face-to-face experience of teaching you guys. I enjoy it almost more than anything else. Like I went to Warmer World the other week, and they were doing painting lessons there on how to do bones and skeletons and things like that, and I just got excited immediately that there was a painting lesson happening. I just wanted to get stuck in and get involved, not in the learning but in the teaching. I wanted to help people. I can't seem to not interfere in that way. Oh, there you go. So you can see, by the way, let's get back to actually painting. I've changed the colour of this palette so you can see easier what kind of consistencies I'm working with. Yeah, can you see the way here the palette colour shows through in one way, and here the palette shows through in a different way, and here it shows through in a different way again. So that way you're going to get a better idea of what I'm actually doing. The paint is slightly see-through. I didn't necessarily intend it that way, but at the same time I don't mind. Why? Because like I said earlier on to the guys in the live stream, this paint job isn't about being precise, it isn't about being strict and following a plan. It's about being able to ebb and flow and have fun with the paint job. Now I said there was going to be tiger stripes and they're going to be kind of like Garfield's. Alright, and what I mean by that is Garfield kind of looks like this. He's got these little wispy things at the side of his head. Yeah, so you guys later on you'll have to watch the close-up on YouTube. When I say those guys, I mean those guys over there. So I'm going to kind of put these little scribbly whirlwinds on the side of his skin. It might look naff, it might look great. We're all about to find out together. So here we go. Alright, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. Let's give these guys a quick close-up. There we go, those things. So I'm going to run with that. Some of the, you know, I'm going to neaten these up, so I think some will be bigger. There we go, sharpen them just like that. Yeah, I might adjust the angles of some of them, but I'm just trying to get a rough idea of what this is going to look like. I'm going to make sure they actually get bigger to around the bulk of his back here, and then start to get smaller again. I might do some little darkers down his tail. But let's make sure this one is bigger. There we go. Yeah, I'm well into that. That's definitely the right decision. Definitely the right decision. Let's show these guys in. Yeah, let's get them all the way down the back. So, here we go. Sorry if the camera's wobbling a little bit. Now, if I don't get these exactly right, I'm not going to be bothered. Why? Because I've not shaded, highlighted or adjusted the skin in any way yet. Yeah, so I can make all those adjustments at a later point. I literally am not bothered. I'm not bothered. No. There we go. Now this part of the pattern, I'm going to take it out onto his shoulder a little bit. I've not quite got this one as scruffy, so let's scruff that one up a little bit. There we go. Right. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so how are we going to deal with this? Well, just going to have to go down like that. There we go, so we'll have another one there, and this is going to start to get a little bit smaller as they go down now. There we go. So essentially you might say I'm just sketching this bit in. There we go. Let's sketch this on the other side, make sure they kind of match. Yeah, I'm not too fussed. There we go. Yeah, I quite like that. So later on during this process, like I said, I'll start to tighten this up. So in fact, let's just fill that in. Let's just fill it in. And dip over like that. See, I'm not even being too tight on how I execute this pattern. I'll save neatening it up for later on. Now, it's not always how I paint, by the way. I do paint sometimes to a hard and fast plan. I do paint in order to be neat straight away. Yeah, I don't always paint in such a way that's subject to change, if you will. Yeah, because that's part of being a professional painter. You do have to work to a plan or a brief, etc., etc. I didn't realise I'd made that big mistake there, so I'm just going to have to fix that later on. And I'll have done that with this big stupid brush because I wasn't paying attention. Serves me right for talking with you guys. But again, I ain't going to freak out and sit here going, ugh, yeah, like I see a lot of people doing, because it's a hobby here. It's meant to be fun. So let's have fun with all of it. Let's have fun with the mistakes. Let's have fun, because you're more likely to enjoy fixing a mistake you had fun making, and had fun fixing. So let's make that habit. Yeah, having fun no matter what. Yeah, it's a hobby, not a responsibility. And even if it is a responsibility, like you're a professional one, you're more likely to be productive in fixing these things for your clients, for your customers, and blah blah blah. And they're more likely to enjoy the process of you fixing it if you're having fun as well. You know, especially if you give a, do you know what? Yeah, I can fix that kind of attitude. I'm going to have fun fixing it, and everything's going to be fantastic for you. So if you're a commission painter, it's just a good idea to have fun. I can't imagine working in although to a degree I can imagine it, because I have worked in one, and I've had to be that guy in some instances, but in an environment where arses are kicked to make art happen, I'm not sure I'm up for anything like that. Yeah, at least not at this point in my life. It just doesn't seem worth it. In fact, it seems pretty dumb. Right, so I'm just going over these all again, just to make sure they're nice and solid in colour. Is this guy called Garfield now, I wonder? Hi, I'm Garfield. Right, so let's get some on his arms. Does he need stripes on his legs? What do you reckon? I think he does. There we go, just in here. Let's move the lamp so you can see a little better in there. Kind of it like that, like that, like that. Scruff them up a little bit, because I want them to look scruffy. I don't want them to look like neat. I don't want them to look like neat dags. Yeah, I want them to look a little bit random. There we go, raggedy, or whatever. Let's do them under here as well, why not? Brilliant. Do them under there. this was definitely the right choice. Definitely, yeah, definitely. Yeah, alright, cool. Couple on the backs of his tricep. And then I'm going to have a look on the live stream and see if anyone's got any questions about this, or statements, or whatever it is they've got to say. Then we can all do a learn. And for you guys that are following along with this at home on YouTube, it'll give you a chance to catch up, because I understand that sometimes I can move a bit too fast. I can't really see the back of his arm there, so it's going to have to be tough tits. Go in there. I ain't going to stress out about that kind of continuity. Alright, cool. Alright, brilliant. There we go. There's his patterning on. Should have put some on his chair. No, it's a bit busy that. When I shade into his chest and all his musculature, that's going to become a real busy area. Right now it looks plain and it looks open for some kind of pattern coming up his garden path. Yeah, we've got this funky chaos star thing in this for some fancy business in a little bit. So there you go. Cool bit of pattern there. Let's see what folk are saying over this side. Alright, couple of things. Let's see. Sparky Rob says he's up to date. Brilliant. Mr. Harland, good evening. Mrs. Magpies, good evening. Gazkill, hello. Councillor 13 asks, any thoughts on whether I intend to texture the flat musculature? There's not a lot of sculpted fur on the Mini. We'll see later on. My initial intentions are no, because if I was going to do a lot of texture onto this model, that immediately bumps it up into a real high standard job, and that's not really what I want for this project right now. I just want to show people that it can be faster, fun, furious, and a little bit scruffy and still get an inspiring paint job. And I use the word a little bit scruffy quite loosely there, because it's still going to be a tight paint job, but not painstaking, not time consuming in that way. Yeah, because like you see right now, I've let go. I've used big broad strokes. You know, if you go back and watch the rest of the vids, I could probably do this paint job in a day and just smash it out, really. You know, so there we go. Terrain Smithy says, when base painting, do I water down, and if so, what ratio do I use? Now, anybody that tells you there's a ratio for paint is talking shit. Okay, there's not a ratio. There's, look at your paint. Does it behave on the palette how you want it to behave on the model? If no, is it too runny or is it not runny enough? Yeah, is it too translucent or is it not translucent enough? Which one is it? Observe. Yeah, observe and ask the question. Well, if it's not runny enough, add some water. If you make it too runny, add some paint. It's as simple as that. Now, like, so for example, why would I use ratios in the instance where, let's say I've got this dried bark. Let's say I've got one dried bark that's brand new. And let's say I've got one dried bark that I've had for about, in the case of New Games Workshop paint, a week. Right. Let's say I've got a dried bark that's actually getting a lot firmer and a lot more gloopy in the pot. Am I always going to use 2:1 ratio? Or what? Do you know what I mean? Or 50-50 mix, or whatever dogma. I'm not going to do that. It would be stupid. And to say there's a dogma for dried bark, would I use that same ratio for Fire Dragon, Bright, or Yellow? I would never do that. Do you know what I mean? Every paint is its own precious little spirit. Every individual pot. And it needs to be treated accordingly. Yeah? Anyone that's telling you there's a ratio, or using dropper bottles or any of that gumph, just wasting the time, man. There's no ratio. There's no ratio. Yeah. In this instance, it's some water to get that effect. Yeah. Be encouraged by that. Right, moving on. Right. Oops. Well, I think we're all up to date. If my fingers actually work this screen properly. Oh no. I keep bringing up the comments bit. I don't want the comments. I want. Northern Prophet says, looking forward to the course at the weekend. Yeah, so am I. I'm having a tooth out the day before, potentially. I'm not looking forward to that. You know. I hope all goes well. Okay. I think we're all good. Hellchild says he loves me. Thank you, Hellchild. I love you too. Right. Right, let's neaten a little bit this up with some Xandri dust, eh? Yeah, no ratios. Screw ratios. Observe. Use your eyes. You know, if that isn't what art is about. Yeah, because that's what we're doing. Some kind of art. Let's get all that back in. There we go. Just rough. Yay, brilliant. Alright, let's... I'm looking at these now and I actually think these little things around his tail should be neater. So let's just neaten them up. What was the hair on the end of my brush there? Get rid of that. There we go. Hey, here's another thing. I might neaten these up too much. So I might need to go back and adjust them again. And rinse and repeat. I might do it 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to get agitated by it. I'm not going to say it's the end of me painting world or killed me project or whatever else. It's just another step. Like this one, I think I've just reduced this guy here too small a little bit. Well, so what? So what? Brilliant. I'm actually quite happy with them. Like this one here has got a straight edge, so I'm going to nudge that in a little bit here and there. There we go, that's better. Ooh, I kind of like this guy. I'm getting all indecisive now. No, he needs roughing up a bit. So I'm going to rough him up a bit. Let me try that. He's got 2 pots open now. 2 pots. Oh no, he's not using dropper bottles. Oh, he's taking pot paint straight from the pot with the brush he's painting with. Oh no, couldn't do that. You won't win a demon without using a separate brush. Doesn't matter, guys. There's too much fuss going on. Too much fuss. Sod that for a game of toy soldiers. The irony, eh? The irony. So, with the pattern on his back, can you see now that I'm actually using some quite small and more deliberate brush strokes now? I'm starting to tighten up. I don't like a straight line here, so let's get rid of that there, that way and that way. Let's get rid of it all together there. That's better. Okay, so some of you might be asking the question, but dude, that dry bark looks really, really, really close in colour to the webbing this guy is wearing, you know, all his leather bondage gear, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, yeah, but my brain doesn't work in that way. My brain knows that some shading and highlighting is gonna happen. Now, what if I shaded the majority of all these leather work, yeah, with black, yeah, essentially making it a really dark brown object, and I only really highlighted in its majority all these stripes on him with like a nice mid-orangey brown. You know, I'm going to pull these two colours really far apart, away from each other, by applying either the shade or the highlight in very different ways. Yeah, I might apply... In fact, I am going to apply a different shade to his skin, which is actually what we're going to get onto now. So I've got this Sandra Justin dry bark right in front of me here, so I might as well use that. I very rarely use Night Lord's Blue, so I feel like I'm going to use Night Lord's Blue. And if you didn't have Night Lord's Blue, probably the shade Drakenhof Nightshade, is it? Blue one of them. A little bit of that in this mix. That'd be good. This question popped up here. Do we generally always paint models fully assembled? I paint models assembled or unassembled in a way that best fits the model, not what best suits whatever dogma. Again, oh, you should always paint from white, or you should always paint on the sprue, or you should always paint in sub-assemblies. Oh, I always do it this way. No, I don't. I chop and change. I do what's best for the project at that time. Alright? It's as simple as that. If I'm doing a low standard, fast, fun, furious job, I don't care about sub-assemblies. Bam, it's getting done. Yeah? If I want to go and really get meticulous on something and really pop eyeballs with a high quality paint job, then I'm going to start to consider sub-assemblies. But I'll always go through this idea. I will do sub-assemblies in as few components as possible. I will assemble that model as much as I can. Yeah, that's a general rule. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about sub-assemblies. I'd rather not do them. Why do it if you don't have to do it? Why take glue near your nice paint job, essentially? Why take, you know, for those that paint on the frame, which I think is nuts, why take clippers and craft knives anywhere near your paint job? Yeah. Even if you are adept at doing it, why take that risk? I'm just getting his hooves in as well. I realised his hooves needed a bit of loving. Oh yeah. Might blend that. I might blend it. Right now, here we go. Tail, do I wish I had a sub-assembly now? Yeah, but I'm just going to come in from this angle and everything will be fine. So here's a good rule for things like this. You see, I'm using quite big movements, even though I'm working a tight area where his tail's in the way. So it is a good little rule. If you can see it, you can paint it. Yeah, I'm looking in a straight line in this direction. Yeah, and I can see it. But if I'm bringing my brush in from this direction, I'm not going to be able to reach it. So, like a snooker player, I'll look directly down my line of sight. If I can see it, I can paint it. Light moves in straight lines. My brush is made of a straight line, you would hope. So I should be able to get in there. And yeah, that's his hoof all nice and neat. Look at that. Easy peasy. No fussing. Again, you can see my base coat isn't solid. I don't care. Brilliant. Should we do his beard? Let's do his beard. Forgot about that. There we go. Do the sound effects help? Yes, they do. Brilliant. Do you know what? I'm really enjoying these stripes. Really enjoying them. So, I've been talking a lot about letting go during this video. Letting go takes practice. Alright? And in learning to let go, there is a lot of experience. Yeah, I've got a lot of experience under my belt and a lot of practice under my belt that enables me to understand when is best to let go and to what degree is good to let go. So in your first instances of letting go, because I remember when I started to learn to let go, and it started when I tried to copy some John Blanche work. You can't really do a John Blanchett kind of style without learning to let go. And what you find is you actually hang on too tight or let go too much. So like letting go is a balance between surrendering, yeah, and controlling. Yeah, so that's why I said earlier on when I mentioned Richard Gray's work. Allow a lot of mistakes to happen and then choose to keep the ones you like. That's probably the best way I could describe it. Allow more and then remove. Yeah, so give every mistake the benefit of the doubt that it's gonna do you good. Yeah, it's gonna do your project good. Okay, let's have a look, see if there's any questions. Mr. Silver Fox, hello, how's Phil? You alright? Alright, brilliant. You all are listening quite intently because there's a few of you all still in, which is good. In the chat, in the feed, that is, which I like. Let's have a little bit of blue in there. Because this model's made of pretty warm and neutral colours all the time, so I'm going to add a little bit of colour theory in there. You would know it's colour theory. I don't look at colour theory in the same way as everyone else. Think of it more in terms of contrast, and these follow all the definitions of contrast. Well, it will do when I've finished farting around with it. So, look at how much I'm watering this down now. Let's spread it out on the palette a little bit. Yeah, you can see it when it's used in large amounts, and here it is when it's used in small amounts. Yeah. I'm now going to just start to dance around the model with this mix. Let's just start up there. And I'm just kind of following my gut. Now, when you're learning or you think you're in a state of developing yourself, following your gut might not always be a great idea. So I'd recommend start at the feet and work your way up. Why start at the feet and work your way up? Because then you're not going to sit there wondering, oh, what should I paint next? Oh, umming and ahhing and stalling with your paint job. Yeah, paint his foot. Well, what comes next? His ankle. What comes next? His shin. What comes next? His calf. What comes next? His knee, his thigh. Yeah, his crotch. Then do the next leg. Yeah, work your way up. Take decision making out of it where possible. As these dry, they'll darken up a little bit and become a little bit more obvious. Yeah. I'm afraid to go over it again as well. Let's get Paul in his junk. In fact, it needs to be darker up in there. It's got some hairy bits. I feel a bit gutted that I've seen that now. Alright, so I'm just remixing some of the colour. Do I care that I've not got it exactly the same as before? A big fat no. A big fat no, I don't. Are there instances where I would care? Yeah, but not too much. There we go, just rinse a little bit of that off just to break up that watermark. Go. Let's go in there. Look, see, even some of the undercoat's missed there. I don't care. I don't care. Brilliant. Alright. Should we shade his tail out to dark? I reckon we should. Let's put a fade on that. There we go. So his tail's now going dark towards the tip. Brilliant. In fact, I said I was going to blend his feet down to the colour of his hooves as well. So I'm going to start to do that. There we go. Be slightly tricky around his left foot. Not that I care too much. Okay. It's looking now to the point where I might even start to go a little bit darker. Start to add in a lot more of the blue in the drier bark. Some of this mix. Let's go a little bit thinner here and there. There we go, brilliant. Brilliant, getting all his chest there, get all up in his little ribs. Let's get under there. How am I choosing my shades? I am choosing my shades based on 1. Experience and gut feeling. Never an answer I like giving. 2 is literally the light is shining down and creating shadows. Well, the ones I like, I bang some paint in there. I'm just going to shove it all in his face like a wash actually. There we go, that'll do. Eat that. Under there. Under there. Down in there. Bit of a finger wipe. So just put a bit too much on. Alright, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Let's put, see this kind of shape here? Like that. Bit of a wash. There we go. Nice. Nice. Let's get that in there. Let's get it down in there. Right. Yeah, I'm proper enjoying this now. So I feel like I'm in a little bit of a flow. You see, I'm just kind of dancing around the model now. Just following my gut. And I have to iterate again. You know, following my gut is based on following a lot of years experience. But I recommend just get stuck in, make the mistakes. That's how you learn. You think, oh, I can't do it, so I shouldn't do it. Ah, bullshit. You can't do it, so you should do it, and keep doing it until you can do it. Yeah, that's absolutely the way to go. How long are we on here? 34 minutes. Right, okay. How long are we on the video? Can't remember. Hey, my mum's in as well. Hi, mum. But I tell you what, I am rather happy indeed with what I've done, and I think really with what I've done here, whether you find it impressive or not, there's actually a good amount of information here to be cracking on with in time for you guys to come next week. So be prepared when you come to class. Yeah. I'll see you all with your own Ogroids. Ogroids sounds like something you need a cream for. Trust me, I know. Just blending his foot a little bit more. I'm going to blend his tail a little bit more. There we go. Brilliant. Nice one. Yeah, quite happy with that. Let's go a little bit darker. Gosh, this might be a bit too much blue in there, but look at me freaking out. Oh my god, no. No, I'm not freaking out. I don't care. Yeah. Because the exercise is in letting go. We are letting go. So, a darker mix. See, I'm not even waiting for this paint on his foot to dry. Just smashing it in there. I shall wait for it to dry. Yeah. So notice I've changed brushes now to a smaller brush. Yes, because I want to be a little bit more accurate. Or should I say, I want the results I'm getting to be a little bit more focused. spot on. Little thing there. See, that's a bit too much. I'm just going to wash my brush. I'm not going to eliminate that completely. I'm just going to diffuse it a little bit. I'll do. I tell you what, guys, do me a favour. If you enjoy these videos, give them a share for me. Because again, like, I enjoy the audience, and I think I can really help a lot of people doing it. And you know, I've decided not to start sharing a lot of what I do now in every group ever, because people just don't like it. People perceive me helping everyone as me promoting myself. Well, I don't make any money out of this. I'm just trying to help everyone. Yeah, and everyone, I just see a lot of people doing it in many ways, the long, hard, difficult, tricky way, including some top painters, and it just doesn't have to be that way, you know. So I just want to help. So, you know, help me out because I enjoy it, you know. I might get some students out of it, like Sparky Rob. He's a good lad, he is, and I'd really like that because I enjoy teaching. I've said before, if I could do it for a living, I think I would do it. I'd teach every day if I could. Well, I can't. Oh, he's coming together, this guy. He really is. You can tell because I've started waffling on about how much I enjoy teaching and blah 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 blah. Well, I hope you guys are getting the point. I'm going to stop in a second and have a look at some of the comments on the live stream, and then I think we'll call this a day and let you guys do these stages, catch up with what I've just done, and then I can see you all in the close-up stream again next week. And again, for you guys that are watching the close-up on YouTube, remember there's a live stream where you can ask questions every Sunday, and for you guys in the live stream, don't forget there's the close-up. For you guys that want to support what I do on Patreon, so maybe one day I can get a better camera, etc, etc, maybe even start traveling, so I can teach more people around the world in person, and I'd love to do that, or even maybe start getting my thoughts down onto a book, because I'd really like to do that as well. You know, every little helps, and I'm really grateful of it. I don't know, I've not been great with Patreon, I've got to admit. I struggle to keep things just for Patreon, guys, you know. So, and I don't know if that's worth supporting me for or not. I'm not sure. I gave up on thinking about the business side of all this a long time ago. I've tried to kind of rejuvenate it as a business, but I don't think it's not firing me up, you know. So you guys are getting raw old me, raw, and I'm just grateful if anyone's generous enough to support what I do, assuming people value what I do. I'm waffling now, try to guilt money out of you. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care. Not anymore. Alright. I think I'm very happy with that. I've got some cool little shadows in there. Will I, could I, would I, should I change them as this project goes on? Yeah, maybe. I'm still kind of fiddling with it, aren't I? So, let's get some up in around his straps. Now, some eagle-eyed of you might notice I've not done like every contour of every muscle. That's right, because you know, I'm saving some of it for the highlighting stage. Because this sandy colour, this Andrew Dust colour that I've painted him, it's not the colour of his skin. It's just the colour I've started with. You know, I think I'm going to start going up through Rackart Flesh and maybe even Baneblade Brown, something like that. I'm actually going to lighten him up a little bit. To what degree? I don't know. It's all a surprise. You know, this model is coming alive before my eyes, as much as it's coming alive before your eyes. This paint job is as unknown to me as it is to you. I'm just allowing it all to happen. And it's a liberating way of painting. We're all birds now. Happy little birds. Okay, brilliant. There we go, sold them still for you. Do I care about some of the watermarks? No. I could have caught them earlier on, but got into the flow, and there you go. Let's blend his feet a little bit more. Probably be blending his feet to almost black, by the way. Right, let's have a vote. Should I blend down to his hands to black as well? I don't think I should on this cuff, but here I kind of want to, so I might go lighter towards his hands. But you need to be careful with something like that, because you don't want his hands being lighter too much more than his face. So we'll see how it pulls the eye later on, and we'll talk about that next week as well. If it's appropriate enough to what I actually end up doing, how to guide and pull an observer's eye around the model in the way you want. Sneaky little mind tricks that painters pull, at least the good ones anyway. Stuff like that you don't get to hear about too much in almost any painting guide. Yeah, very happy with this now. It's good fun. Okay, right, for you close-up guys, that's it. If you leave a comment and subscribe on this video, you're going to get put into a prize draw to win this guy, which is going to be far too there. Look at him. I just want to give him away to somebody. You guys, I just want to give him away. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a comment on one of these videos. I'm going to choose one of you, and you can have that Greater Demon Nurgle. Now that Greater Demon Nurgle as well is a great example of a fast, fun, furious paint job. He's 2 hours from start to finish, not including building. Yeah, 2 hours start to finish. Just smashed him out. Yeah, this Ogroid Myrmidon is going to be a bit better than that. Yeah, so imagine what you can learn just from looking at that in the flesh. Look under there. Grimo. Blah, 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 blah. Right, see you guys later. Right, let's see what y'all are saying on the live stream. Right, okay, so my mum says hello. My mum's requested to be in the live video. I'll save that for now, Mum, if that's alright. Tabletop Painter says, where am I in the feel of oil wash? Do I prefer acrylic washes? It's about tool for the job. If I want a consistent finish, yeah, across the entire model, I'll stick to acrylics. If I want a shiny finish in some areas and not in another, then I might use something with a little bit more of a sheen to it, like an oil paint or whatever, medium or varnish or blah blah blah. I'll use an appropriate product. See what I mean? If I want real deep, rich colours, oils are very good for those things, so I might use it then. If I want to do, say, some buff and rub kind of ideas where you'll bang a load of oil painting because it takes time to dry, you can get a slightly not solvent, spirit damp cloth, and you can kind of wipe the top surface and leave the inner parts on show. Man, there's 30 seconds remaining. Philip Allen, you've mislaid your brush set in the move up. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a shout, Philip Allen. I've left some links in my YouTube video to the brushes I like, so go for those guys, mate. Sparky Rob, when am I doing the fade on the hooves? Blah blah blah. Oh, I've just done that. Do I have a specific lamp? I don't have a specific lamp, but there's like some £100 one on YouTube. Good night.